My name is Adrian, and I grew up in a Christian home, in a pretty sheltered environment, and so I always knew about God and was in church every week, probably multiple times a week. And my folks were both believers in Jesus. But as I went off to college, life was kind of thrown at me suddenly, being exposed to all different kinds of choices. I made a lot of wrong choices and exposed myself to alcohol and premarital sex and all of that. Towards the end of that 4 years, I came back home and had an experience where God just revealed himself to me for the first time. And that's where I knew that God was real and he was real to me. I assumed that life was going to be smooth sailing from then on. And it was about a couple years after that I found out that it wasn't so smooth. And so I just remember going through a real tailspin and moved out of my parents' house and into my first apartment. And all the time struggling and fighting this and fighting the temptation that was coming my way. And for about 5 years there, I just kind of sunk right in, and I just stopped fighting the temptation. And so partying and hanging out with friends and I just had given myself over to that life for about 5 years there, and didn't know really how to approach life. I felt like anybody who knew me as a Christian, if they found out that my life would fall apart. I remember crying out to God, even early on, just take this away from me, change me. I don't want to deal with this. And it didn't seem like anything was changing. And it wasn't until kind of going through just that whole struggle and just being out there, and I was really searching for love and acceptance in everything that I was doing, and I wasn't finding it. God began to just speak to my heart, and he would just ask me questions, sometimes give me dreams or wake me up out of my sleep. And he would ask me, Adrian, if you died right now, where are you going? And to answer him honestly, I had to say, God, not with you. And he'd ask me, are you okay with that? And I said, no. As I started to come to church, I'd find myself way up in the balcony in the back, away from anybody I knew. And during praise and worship service, I just would weep and just worship him. And it was a new experience for me in that I could sense God's arms open and accepting me and inviting me to come closer to him. And I'm like, but you know what I just did, or the mess that I'm in right now. I didn't understand it, but it was real, and God was drawing me in. I found places within our church that people that walked with me and that taught me about who I was and how God made me in his image, and just really walked me through forgiveness and just receiving forgiveness and receiving healing in ways that I had never known. And so it was really just a journey of just relational healing for me, relationships with people and my relationship with God. God can do the impossible. He literally changed my desires, and I knew that was something that I couldn't do for myself. I tried, I gave it my best shot, and I couldn't do it. But I believe that if people can see that God did it for me, and he did it in such a merciful way. He didn't beat me over the head or just heap judgment upon me, but he welcomed me in, and he gently walked alongside me. He never left me. Even when I stumbled, and trust me, I did. It's not a perfect walk, but it was a journey of just learning what it is to walk with him, So if he can do it for me, I believe that he can heal and restore anybody.